All right. Welcome back to Life at the Outpost. After a couple weeks, we've had a bit of a buy around, or our second buy anyway, which has given us a bit of a break around the Origin period. Now running into the Tigers game this week just been. How'd you feel about that game, Mitchie? The halves pairing making a comeback.
Halves pairing. Look, this was a better showing. It feels a bit more dynamic. And it actually feels like they've had some practice together, and they've had a bit of time to sit down and actually nail down some proper strategy, which was really good to see. They really spent that first 60 minutes just absolutely destroying the Tigers.
Yeah.
Especially being really good around the sin bins in general. So during the sin bins, I noticed a lot of Heath Mason pushing out to replace whoever was sin binned. And I thought it was interesting the way that both Purdue and Dearden really isolated that and took advantage of that. I think that was really key for the success of that game.
Yep.
I think that the unfortunate part is that we really let things go and had some errors and then let things go towards the end there. We really showed how dangerous a Benji Marshall led side can actually be when they lock in.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was like I said, I think after the first 20 minutes, or maybe 40 minutes, I think it was the 40 minutes. So after when the second half started, we were obviously out the game. So
yeah.
Second half started, I said to you, geez, Luai's really staking a claim of why he's not picked for Origin. And then literally 20 minutes later, he's like, righto, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'll show you, motherfucker. Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
You did see it, hey? They just went, oh, well then, and started chancing their hand a bit, whether it be spreading passes wide or just little early kicks and stuff, and everything paid off. Like, everything either brought them back on top in field position or resulted in a try. So, yeah, I mean, the boys obviously backing up off Origin, probably a bit of fatigue being a little bit of a factor, but holy moly, was it scary watching. It was almost like watching an inverse sort of Cowboys earlier in the season dominating in the second half, just putting try after try on consecutive tries to come back and take the lead. Tigers really, up until the last 5 minutes, we just sort of hung on there, which was lucky. Yeah.
I think the other thing to mention as well is we still don't have much of a kicking game.
Yeah. Yep.
Tom's still working on that clearly, which is fine.
Yep.
But we did miss 6 points from conversions. So this game didn't. I mean, look, even given the terrible defense towards the end, this game didn't need to be this close.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Once again, we've said it before. You want to be going up in sixes, not fours, and although it wasn't our undoing, could have easily been our undoing in this game.
Easily been.
Should have definitely been up by another at least 4 points anyway, but 6 points, giving us a little bit more of a comfortable lead. Kicking game on field anyway, you're right. I mean, while we've unlocked a bit more confidence and a bit more stability there in that halves pairing, we've got that added danger of two running halves now, and we saw they both scored a try. We're still sort of just lacking in being able to get that, turn the forwards around and kick right down into the corner. Force a fullback into the corner or a winger into the corner, and then have everyone there chasing, ready to turn them around. Drinkwater puts some good kicks up. He does have an all right kick, but just it's not to the standard that we need off of, say, like Clifford. Clifford was good at it. Just not. Not to harken back.
Need the high-hanging ball and need to get it in the corners as well.
Exactly right.
Both for different reasons, obviously, for attacking reasons.
Give them that opportunity to get down and chase it. But, still something to work on. But positive signs anyway. Much improvement and much more...
much improved even over a week.
Much more to look at and look forward to anyway. In terms of gameplay and that, and set plays and things like that, which is good. I think... yeah, we spoke about it in the other podcast, but Bateman having an all-time game, or his best one for us yet anyway, can be decent in defence, and that has been known to give away a bit of an error or whatever, but was a man possessed this one, really wanting to stick it to his old team, I think, and walk off with show off his current girlfriend to his ex-girlfriend or whatever it is, that weird sort of thing people do. He really just came out and he lifted the team, and saw it there. I mean, I don't know who had Bateman in for first try scorer, but going over for that first try. So
hope that guy got him a bunch of money.
Oh yeah. Big Johnny, he was. I've never seen him so elated, so ecstatic. But he was very, very, very good for us, very instrumental for us in this game, I thought.
So I've never seen him so passionate about football.
Yeah, and
goodness,
even like we know he does have that bit of aggression and that, but his ball running, he just ran with more venom in this game, and in defence was really strong in contact in defence.
He really wanted to say something to some Tigers.
Yeah.
I think he really had something to say, and he did. He made a statement.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And Nanai as well. I thought for me, Nanai getting that try right on the 40th minute there, but I really thought backing up he was strong. I mean, considering he was probably one of Queensland's best, even though the result didn't go our way, he really seemed to give a lot in Origin, and only a few days after, less than a week after, backed up and did it once again for us there. So very, very happy with Nanai's effort. The other one too, being Jackson Paulo getting himself a try on debut, but a lot of people
Get himself.
Yeah,
quite a good try too.
It was, and it was good. He that step inside or whatever to sort of break. I believe it was Dewey possibly pushed out there and tried to cover him and slipped up, and he went over for a try there. A lot of people had been a little bit dubious. I mean, he's been a bit of a journeyman. Paulo, he's never really locked down a spot anywhere. Been at a couple clubs, but I think he's definitely been training and being focused at training, and that probably teaming up with Muzz a bit, coming up with some plays, and whether it be Murray telling him, look, this is what to look out for, this is what I would do or what the boys usually run, just slot in here and then show them what you can do, sort of thing. It seemed a bit more natural than some debuts we've seen over the years anyway, I thought. So
that's right. I think his try, I think it was Dewey had just run back on from the sin bin, like literally a minute prior.
Yep, that makes sense.
And I think he just wasn't locked in at all. Yep. Jackson just gave him the goof, bro.
Yep. Stepped back inside and then broke that man's ankles.
Yep.
Yeah. So definitely a good prospect for us, Paulo. I mean, I know I said, and I probably would have rather have Burns come in for Talangi just because we've seen how decent he can be. We've seen him do it at the start of the year, be so solid. But obviously Peyton's wanting to go with the young bloods, blood the young ones, and I mean, it's not a bad idea. Give the people who've probably got a bit more game time in front of them, or a bit more career, in front of them, I should say. Give them a bit more of an opportunity, and hey, it's paid off this time. So we do have him again this week. He's lining up there to cover for Muzz again this week. So albeit probably a harder game, stronger team, stronger opposition, and whatnot. I think most people got to be pretty happy with that, right?
I'm looking forward to seeing how his strength goes against Grant Anderson this week.
Yeah.
He showed that he had a bit of strength about him in this game, in the Tigers game. But I'm looking forward to see how he fares against Anderson.
Yep. Yeah. I mean,
bit of a bigger body.
I mean, coming out to such a lead, or getting out to such a lead last week, boys. They Tigers really clawed it back in that last 20 minutes or so. That's not something that's going to be on offer this week against Melbourne, unfortunately. If we get out to any sort of lead, they're going to need to keep putting points on. It's not one where it's like, all right, we're there, let's defend. Melbourne, we'll have a quick look at this game anyway, but Melbourne, even with their shock losses or odd losses and wavy form, they're that one team where they are just itching to get back and make a bounce back or make a statement, sort of thing. So It's definitely going to be.
Not just that, they're also probably one of the only teams this year who can consistently threaten 60 points.
Yeah,
If they want to, they
yep,
can.
yep. You're right,
Um,
100%.
it will be a tough game, this
Yep,
one.
and yeah, up against the likes of Howarth and Anderson on that edge there. Paulo, it's a bit stronger. Probably, I would think a bit stronger of a an edge than what he had last week. But hopefully he can still sort of bunker down and lock in and hold his own. I would hope anyway. We're probably lucky in terms of having Coates and Derby up against each other there, where we've got our own version of a Coates sort of. It's not a coat.
Coates to be, maybe.
Yeah, it's not a Coates, not a coat, but a Derby. This one's got the leap as well, and we've seen as he's sort of progressed through the weeks, he's been able to get that ball control under control and stuff like that. So, a lot of positive signs for that as well. At least we've got something we can offer to possibly shut down that massive Superman leap of Coates's anyway. So, it's the same side up against Melbourne, same side. The only sort of thing is there was talks of Robson. They were going to monitor Robson leading into this game just because he had some hamstring tightness, and I know he did sit down toward the end of that Tigers game. I don't know whether he sat down because of that or whatnot, but Edwards took over.
Yeah, I think they didn't want to risk him.
Yeah, Edwards took over, and I mean, he had a massive origin too, so he deserved a spell, but Edwards took over for him, so it might be something we do see happen again here this game, just to keep an eye on him sort of thing, but it's going to be a lot stronger of a matchup there. Melbourne are looking pretty well back to their normal side. They've got Grant's back at hooker there, and like you said, Grant Anderson on the wing. Howarth is back, Meaney in the other centre, and Coates back on the wing after Origin. So it's going to be a big game. Boys are really going to need to lock in, and even if they don't get to a massive lead initially, which is going to be ideal, if they don't get to a massive lead, they just need to stay in it, I think, because it's going to be a grind.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I think looking at this Melbourne game, it is down in Melbourne, so will be a tough one travelling, but I'm liking looking at McIntyre's lining up and prop there again, but liking the chances in Nanai. Nanai and Katoa, really. Katoa is they're sort of comparable, really. They're both good under the high ball on that, and strong ball runners, good in defence in that. But I'm thinking Nanai is going to carry that form on, and we should see Cotter have a bit of a not so much a comeback, but if anything, a bit of a statement when it comes to getting picked for Origin Game 2. Anyway.
No, I believe Nanai is up against Blore here. I like Nanai's odds much more against Blore than I do against Katoa, but I also like Nanai's attack against Blore quite a lot. So I think he's on for a try this game as well.
Yep. Like we were saying, it's pretty much we're naming the same squad we lined up with last week there. Clifford's still just not having a spot in the side, unfortunately. 18th man. I think that changes come game 2, because now that we don't have a bye up until round 27 for the final round anyway, we'll be playing the week of Origin selection when players go off to Origin. So once Dearden toddles off again, hopefully for Queensland, then I think that's when we're going to see Clifford make his comeback. But I don't know. Just it's tough. It's unfortunate, really, because it feels a bit like having Dearden in the Origin camp. It's like you sort of need both of them in the side. You need Clifford in the side, and you need Dearden in the Origin side. But how do they fit in? How do they fit in at the moment, and what do you do with them? It's tough because Laybut, I think, as well, has been pretty good coming back, especially after that injury, not playing for so long. I don't think you can say, hey, Purdue, go back and take that centre role back. Zach can go and play on the bench, or he can go back to reserve grade. So, it's rough. It's rough moving forward. Toddy's he said it from the get-go, and he's stuck true. He's held firm to his beliefs.
It's really the same story for Burns as well, right? Like you just
where does he go?
It's slim pickings at the moment. You got Yeah, where does he go? We want them all in, but we can't get them all in. So
Somewhat spoilt for choice anyway. If one goes down, we do have a good replacement, and that is also without Talangi in the side. So still a couple weeks until he'll be fit. I think it was about a 4-week, possibly 4-week injury or something they were talking about with his calf, was it not? I can't remember the exact.
Yeah, I believe they said 4.
Roughly around 4 anyway, which would see at least another probably 1 or 2 more games without him, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm imagining we're going to see this same side lining up for the next round or two anyway. I think it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough just going back to this Melbourne matchup, but I'm going to tip the boys by 4 points because Drinkwater seems to keep missing kicks.
It's actually hilarious that you said 4 because I was just about to say I'm gonna go the boys for this one, and I'm only gonna go on by 1 try. So, okay, I'll make it interesting just to stay away from
2.
yours. I'll say 6. I'll say no. I'll say he gets the kick this one.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Hopefully he's had.
Who knows? Depending on the side, it may even be Zach that lands the kick.
Yeah, that's true too. We did see him take over last week, didn't we? After Drinkwater
on this bad side,
after he hooked those couples. So, I mean, Melbourne have got Pappenhausen. They've got Meany there to kick. So they're a bit sport for choice too. So we really do need to be on a game and getting converting those tries, and hopefully we do have a few of them. I think that's probably about it for now, though. Anything else you wanted to bring up for the last fortnight of footy anyway?
Not for the last fortnight. I did have questions on when Jace was going to come back. It still looks like there's absolutely no sign of return. No sign of return anytime soon.
Yeah, I did hear something recently. His name did come up, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still up in the air. There's still no set date of when he's coming back because that was was it a foot or an ankle injury he was dealing with? No, it was a foot injury at the start of the season, and then which is unfortunate because we're missing it. We're missing every game he sits out. I mean, it gives someone else an opportunity, obviously, one of the other forwards to go, but we're missing that strike and that he has off the bench, or even when he starts. He does that first 20 minutes or whatever, but when he comes off the bench and just absolutely almost harkens back to the Tamalolo of old sort of thing. So hopefully they've got something in the works because we need him back.
I think they said it was a calf, right?
Okay, it might be. Yeah, I might be getting confused with. I know at the start of the season he definitely had a foot injury then, so that's probably what I'm thinking.
He had a Lisfranc and then he had wrist.
You're right. Yep.
I think this time. Yeah, it's still it's a calf. Yep. But yeah, it's still TBC. Like they just have no. There's just been no info on it at all.
Yeah, that's the rough part with that because even if he's doing like light training and stuff like that, it's not really an indicator of when he's coming back or whatnot. So hopefully sooner rather than later, especially coming in toward the end of the season because we're going to need those boys refreshing and that, especially not having that bye till the final round. So we will see. We'll keep an eye on it anyway, and hopefully within the next fortnight when we're doing the next episode, we'll be able to report something more on it. Going on from here, though, we're in 6th position. Hopefully we can hold that down. That 1 point is coming in handy at the moment. But, hopefully we can jump that up to 17 and get ourselves up into possibly 5th or something like that and stay around the middle of the top 8, moving in toward the end of the season and then lock ourselves down. But, that's about it, I think. That was it for you, eh?
That's pretty much it for me. I think we've nailed it all.
Sweet. We are doing another little competition, not for football tickets this time, but for a signed Queensland Maroons cap on our other podcast over at Hit the Gap. So if you want to go check that out on the Hit the Gap podcast socials, or would be even better if you listen to or watch the episode on YouTube there, get a quick look at the hat, and listen for how to enter that competition. We'll have that all done and dusted by round 3 of Origin, which I think everyone's hoping is going to go to a decider. So a nice bit of memorabilia to rep for that. But until we come to you next time, thanks for tuning in again, and we'll see you then.
Cheers.